Hey everybody, this is Jim the Tabletop Engineer, and welcome back to my playthrough of Arkham Horror, the card game. Specifically, I'm playing the Dunwich Legacy, and this is the final episode. If you didn't watch the last one, you probably want to go back and watch it. When it ended, my investigators got sucked into a portal, and they are now lost in time and space. Let me read this to you. Passing through the gate is unlike anything you've ever experienced. You feel your body twisting and distorting, churning through realities as the gate pulls you to its ultimate destination, a place beyond the scope of human imagination. Suddenly, all is quiet, and the chaos of the journey is replaced with a sense of solitude and dread. You are in an unfathomable place, vast beyond your ability to reason and utterly alien besides. The landscape is surreal and strange, the architecture impossible. You are so far from home that home has become a threadbare dream you can barely recall. Even should you find a way out of this awful place, you may never be the same again. Alright, I have set it up. This one seems to be pretty straightforward. My two investigators find themselves at a single location called Another Dimension. Now, there are new locations to discover in this deck. They're not like normal locations where you flip them when you move to them and then see what they are. They appear and then you just place them and they become a location, I believe, that you can visit. I have never reached this far. I believe the last time I played Dunwich Legacy, me and my fellow players, I played it multiplayer a while back, we made it to episode 6 and then we all died. So, this is a first for me, and I really don't know what to expect. I have upgraded my investigators' decks. I've already shuffled them, but I'll go ahead and give them another shuffle just to show you. And I'm playing Rex Murphy and Roland Banks. And they're pretty beat up mentally and physically. Roland has 2 mental trauma and a physical, and Rex has 2 physical and a mental trauma, which means their sanity and their health starts lower than it normally would. So I have set Roland to 8, and his sanity is normally 5, but it's already down to 3. He is on the cusp. Rex starts at 6 health, but he's lost 2, so he starts at 4 health and 8 sanity. And let's go ahead and draw their card. Well, let's do that last. Let me read you the act. Out of this world. Somehow you must find your way across this alien landscape in order to find the nexus that was described in old Watley's tome. As an action, you can discard the top 3 cards of the encounter deck. Choose a location discarded and resolve its revelation. That's how you find new locations if they don't come up randomly. And this takes 4... that was the act. That takes 4 clues to advance. The agenda, which takes 4 doom to advance, it says, pathways of sound and color extend for an eternity in all directions, dotted with impossible architecture and overgrown alien wildlife. The lines between objects are jagged and shifting, and your skin feels as if it is inside out. Forced. After you are moved to a location by an encounter card effect, you take a horror. And that is probably what is going to be the end of Roland Banks. I just have this sneaky suspicion. Alright, now we'll draw cards. Roland draws 5, and I will do a mulligan if I need to. Flashlight, that's good. Exhaust burner, draw a card. That one's not bad. Not bad, not bad. I'll keep these. I don't know if I'm going to encounter any monsters, but we're going to keep those. Alright, Rex draws 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not bad, not bad. That one's not great, but I'll take it. These are all pretty good. I'll keep them. Alright, and then we flip this over. It's called Another Dimension. So I flip it over. It has no clues on it, but it does have a shroud of 6. Forced. When a location leaves play, move each investigator and unengaged enemy at that one back to another dimension. Cannot be canceled. Ooh, okay. Alright, well, let's get moving. Let's see. What do I want to do? Well, because I can't do anything, I have to do this. As an action, I can discard the top 3 cards and choose a location discarded. 1, 2, 3. Well, we have a location. All right, so these are discarded. I'm going to move them over here. I'm used to them being on my right. These get discarded, but this is an actual location called Prismatic Cascade. It connects to another dimension. Yep. It says, Revelation. Put Prismatic into play and discard a random card from your hand. Okay. Oh, by the way, I was having Rex go first. Put it into play, discard a Rex, forced. After the last clue is removed, discard. There are 3 clues on it. Now, do I move to it? I need to look up the rule for this. Just because I draw it doesn't mean that I move to it automatically. This just says reveal it. After you move to, and then after you move to a location by an encounter card effect. Now, an encounter card would tell me to move here. I'm not having to move. I can choose to move here, so I shouldn't force a horror. So that my first action was I drew a location. My second action, I will move here. And my third action, you know what? I have to discard a random card. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna shuffle these up, and I am horrible at shuffling. Sorry. I'm gonna shuffle them up, and then I'm gonna pick the one on the bottom and get rid of it. All right. Let's get rid of. I got rid of my ally, which is really what I wanted to get into play, to be honest. All right. For his third and final action, I want to try and get as many clues. I need 4 clues. Do I have anything that gets me an auto clue? No. Choose an investigator. If you succeed, heal with damage. No. Fast play on your turn. No. All right. Now, the good news is if Rex investigates and he beats it by 2 or more, he can get a second clue. The Shroud is 2. My investigate is 4. Let's bump that up to 6. That way I have a high chance of beating it by 2. 6 versus 2. And I got 0, so I did beat it by 2, which means I get 2 of these clues, and his turn is ended. All right. Now, Roland. Revelation. Put it into play and discard. Okay, so he doesn't have, when he moves here, he does not have to do that. So Roland, on his first turn, he will move here. Oh, you know what? Hold on. After you are moved to a location by an encounter card effect. That's an encounter card effect. That means Rex is going to take a horror. I don't want him to do it, so I'm not moving. I'll let Rex deal with this. So what I'm going to do for my first action is I'm going to reveal 3 more cards and try to get more locations. 1, 2, 3. Is this a location? No. Is it? Oh, this is. Okay, cool. All right. Steps of Yahagarl. I can't pronounce it. It has 2 clues on it. It has Revelation. Put it into play, then draw the topmost Madness card in your discard. Well, the good news is I do not have a Madness card in my discard yet, so I don't have to do that. Forced. When you would leave Yagari, test 2 will. If you fail, shuffle Steps of Yagari into the encounter deck instead of moving to your original destination. When you would leave it, if you fail, shuffle it into the encounter deck instead of moving to your original destination. Well, then where do you end up? When you would leave, if you fail, shuffle it into the encounter deck instead of moving to your... So it's kind of like you're just sitting out there. But it would because that's weird. That would force me back here, which I would take a horror. When you would leave, test 2 if you fail. So if you fail it, it forces you to move back here. Because this is when a location leaves play, you have to move back here. So if I put him here and he fails that test, it will force him back and he'll take a horror. And with a Shroud of 3, he's not really going to... Well, this is a time crunch. Let's go ahead. If I move him and I do an investigate, I could possibly get a clue. I could play flat. Well, for 1, I did this. For 2, I can play flashlight. And then 3, I can investigate. And I only want 1 clue. I only need 1. Let's do that. I'm going to move for my second action. And then, no, I revealed, I moved, and then I'm going to play flashlight. No, I'm going to play Christopher Warren. I need an ally because he's got low sanity, and this has a sanity of 3. I will pay 3 to get him out, and that is the end of Roland's turn. All right. Now it is enemy phase. There are no enemies. Upkeep. We flip these over. And everybody gets a clue. A resource, and a card. Roland draws something worth fighting for. May be assigned to horror, dealt to other investigators. Oh, wow, that's cool. That's a good one to have. And Rex draws encyclopedia. Spend a secret, choose an investigator, gets +2. Not bad. Okay. Then we put a Doom. It is now the Mythos phase. We put a Doom token, 1 out of 4. And we draw cards. Now, Rex went first, so he draws Terror from Beyond, Peril. Choose one of the following card types, asset, event, or skill. Each player must discard each card in his hand that is a card of that chosen type. If this is not the first card, okay. So what you do is basically everybody looks at their cards. I have an asset, event, skill, event, asset. I have 2 assets, 2 events, and a skill. And this is asset, 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 event. So if I choose event, he'll lose 1 and he'll lose 2. That's better than my assets. I don't want to lose my assets. So I'm going to discard the event 1 from Rex's hand. And Roland, unfortunately, has to get rid of 2 events from his hand. And that was Rex's draw. And now Roland draws Visions of Future Past. Test 5 will. For each point you fail, discard the top card of your deck. His will is 3. I'll donate Unexpected with the 2 pips to give it up to 5. So 5 versus 5. 5 minus 3 is 2, so I failed it by... 5 minus 2 is 3. I failed it by 2, so I have to discard 2. There's 1, and there's 2. All right. Those are good cards, too. I hate to get rid of those. All right. It is now my turn. Rex will investigate. He is 4 versus 2. Let's go ahead and get out Encyclopedia for a cost of 2. That's his first action. Second action, he will, and it gets 5 uses on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He'll go ahead and investigate to get this last 1. And this says after you are moved to a location by an encounter card, take a horse. So that's good. That won't do it. But this would force me to do it by an encounter card. That's not an encounter card. That's a location. So never mind. All right. So let's go ahead and investigate. We are at 4 versus a Shroud of 2. I really don't want to get rid of these to bump that up. Well, I can play it for my second action. I'll play it for my second action. Now both hands are full, so I can't do any more hand ones. But the good news is it's a 0 cost to play, and I get +1 to investigate. And if there are no clues at my location, it comes back to my hand. All right, so now I'm at 5 versus 2. 5 minus 3 is 2. Well, I didn't beat it by 2, but I did tie, so I get the third clue, and that bounces him back here. This goes, does it discard it? You discard it. All right. And was that, he investigated. That was his third and final action, so he is done. Okay, we are to Roland. Roland gets +1 investigate because he's got Professor Warren Rice. That puts him at 4 versus 3. I will spin the flashlight, 2, to get it out. It has 3 uses on it. 1, 2, 3. I will, for my third and final action, I will spend a flashlight. It lowers the shroud by -2. So this goes down to 1, and I am at 4 versus 1. That's better than nothing. 4 versus 1. 4 minus 2 is 2. I do it. So I get a clue. And now, discard the top of the card to choose a location. Okay, so now what we can do is he will, all right, so let's, hold on. He played flashlight. He investigated. Now I'm going to have him move. He will move here. He's done. But before the turn ends, I'm going to spin the 4 clues to advance the act. So you flip it over and read. A light shimmers in the distance and you head towards it. The wispy light drifts away from you, floating through the realm's strange gateways, ascending looping staircases and crossing through barriers you dared not cross earlier. With little chance of finding the nexus on your own, you follow the light, hoping it is guiding you in the right direction. Put the set-aside edge of the universe location into play. All right, so there were a couple cards it asked me to set aside. Here is the edge of the universe, which I can reach from here. Is that right? Hold on. No, I can reach it from the steps of Yagarli. Nice. I'm glad I left a clue on there. I can get here, and then this one can get here. Oh, that was... Because if this thing had gone away, I wouldn't have been able to get here. Oh, that was a good call. Well, it was kind of out of my... I only had the ability to get one clue. If I'd have gotten both clues, I didn't do it intentionally, but kind of worked out. All right, so now let's read the second act. You continue to follow the wisp of light through the treacherous landscape, making it... You continue to follow the wisp of light, though the treacherous landscape makes it a difficult quarry to chase. As an action, discard the top 3 cards of the encounter deck, choose a location, and resolve it. If an investigator enters the edge of the universe, you advance this. All right, so I got to get here. That is so cool, because honestly, if this had gone away, I would have to keep finding a location to get here, but I don't have to now. All right, it is now the upkeep phase. No, hold on. That was the... What was that? That was the advancing. Okay, so now it's the enemy phase. There are no enemies. It is the upkeep phase. We flip these over. We draw, each get a resource. And we draw a card. And Roland draws Unexpected Courage. And Rex draws the Necronomicon, which is sweet. This is one of the best things he could get. All right. That is the end of the upkeep phase. Mythos phase. We place a token. Now we draw, and that's 2 out of 4. Who went first? It was Rex, then Roland. Yeah, Rex went first. Rex draws Arcane Barrier attached to your location. As an additional cost to move in or out of the location, test for will. If successful, discard this. Otherwise, you must either cancel the effects of the move or discard the top 5 cards. Ah, wow. Okay. And then Roland draws Beyond the Veil, Surge. Put it into play. If your deck has no cards in it, you take 10 damage. This is basically an auto death. You die if your deck gets empty. Oh, okay. So, and again, Surge, so I have to draw again. And I got Prismatic Cascade. There's a bunch of these. Put it into play. Discard a random card from your hand. Okay, so I've only got 2, so I'm looking up at the ceiling. I'm not going to look. I'll get rid of this one. I got rid of Unexpected Courage, which is a great card. I really hate that. And that is it for the Mythos phase. Okay, we got to get moving. So before Rex goes, he has to test 4 will. He's got 3 will. Roland has 3, so it's really... okay. But Rex also has this +2 to a skill. Did I use this? No, I used the magnifying glass, which came back to my hand. Sorry. All right, we need to pass this. So I'm going to go ahead and get Necronomicon. The Necronomicon. Everybody pronounces it. Necronomicon is the way I've heard of it. But I've also heard it called the Necronomicon. It costs 3. I will pay 3. And it gets 6 uses. 1, 2, 3. I don't think I have enough of these. 4, 5. Oh, yeah, I do. 6. Now, all right. I can spend a secret to get +2 to a skill test. I can spend 2 secrets to draw 2 cards, spend 3 secrets to discover a clue, spend 4 to deal 3 damage to an engaged enemy. Ooh, I'm going to hold on to that. All right, so I need to pass a will test, and I really don't want to get rid of this. This is too good of a card. I will spend a secret on the Necronomicon. All right, so I played it. That's one turn gone. For my second turn, I'm going to spend a secret on the Necronomicon. I'm going to add +2 to my will. So it's 5 versus 4. Not the greatest, but 5 versus 4. Come on. 5 + 1 is 6. This goes away, and the penalty is no longer there. So for my second action, 1... And I was trying to do a move, so I'm going to move here for my second action. And I don't want to get here until Roland can go with me. So, for my third action, no, let's go ahead and move. And you must have at least 2 clues in order to move here. Oh, so I can't. No wonder. Okay. Well, hold on. I'm glad I read that. All right. So instead of moving here, he would have moved here. All right. This has 3 clues on it. Got to do it again. 1, 2, 3. All right. So he played Necronomicon. He moved. He's got 1 more action. So I will investigate. It's 4 versus 2. I will fast play my magnifying glass to make it 5 versus... I can't because it requires 2 hands. Never mind. I'll spend the encyclopedia to make it 4, 5, 6 versus 2. Hopefully I can get 2 of those 3. 6 versus 2. 6 minus 1 is 5. I do beat it by more than 2. So not only do I get 1 clue, I get a second clue. All right. Nice. That was his... he played Necronomicon. He moved. He investigated. He is done. All right. So he's done. And I guess I should get Roland moving. But you know what? I really want to get this something worth fighting for out. So for my first action, I'm going to gain a resource. Second action, I'm going to spend the 3 to get out something worth fighting for, which gives me a bonus 3 mental or sanity, which I desperately need because he's only down to 3. And that goes away, and he's got 1 more turn, and I'm going to move him here, and he's done. That is it for my turn. No more enemies. Upkeep. Flip these over. Everybody gets a resource. And a card. Roland draws combat training. That's another good one to get. And Rex draws preposterous sketches. Play only if there's a clue. Draw 3 cards. Not bad. Now it is Doom phase. Place a Doom token. And we draw cards. Now Roland went last. Rex went first. So Rex will draw. He draws Collapsing Reality. If you are at an extra dimensional location, I am. Discard it and take a damage. If you're at, I don't care. I can discard it. But I'm going to take a horror because this card forces me to move here. I can keep it by taking 2 damage, which I don't want to do. So I will get rid of this. The clue goes away. I'm glad I got both clues. I come here. This goes away. And I take a horror because I was forced to move. After you move to a location by an encounter card effect, take a horror. Yep. All right, now Roland draws. Roland got Conglomeration of Spheres. It is a monster. It is an abomination, meaning at this location it will attack everybody. It will prey on the lowest will. They both have 3, so unfortunately, since it spawned here, it will attack Roland. It has 6 health. It has 1 fight. So it's easy to beat it, hard to kill it. After you perform an attack against it, using a melee card, discard that card. So it like a melee weapon is like a club or something. It must dissolve it. Wow. Okay. Well, that's not great, but I need to kill it before Rex moves through it, because Rex can't move away from it without it getting a surprise attack or an attack of opportunity. So that means Roland will be going first, and unfortunately, I can't play this asset because it's an asset, and if I take any other action, this thing will attack me for one damage and 1 health. But this would really help me defeat it. You get +1 fight and +1 agility. Non-direct damage must be assigned to combat training before it is assigned to your other investigators. Spend a resource, you get +1 fight or +1 agility. You know, I really doing 6 damage is going to be hard. I don't have a weapon, and Rex does not have a weapon, so I could try to evade it, which will exhaust it, and then I can move here. And since it's exhausted, he would be able to move by it. Let's do that. I'm going to try to evade it. My evade is 2. Its evade is 4. Long shot. I'm going to play combat training, which has 2 agility pips. This will knock me up to 4 versus 4. And that is all I can do. However, four versus 4. Darn it. This is not good, because if I don't evade, I only get 2 more attacks. Okay, let's try to evade it. 4 versus 4. Come on, I can do this. 4 versus 4. The Shroud. What is the Shroud? Reveal another token. If you fail, discard cards from the top of the encounter card until a location is discarded and put it into play and move there. All right, well, so I get 1 more pull. So it says reveal another token. All right, so 4v4. 4 plus 1 is 5. I evade it. So it is evaded, which means for my second action, I can move here, which reveals this. You must have at least 2 in order to move. Hold on. He does not have 2. He has 2. So, since I evaded it, that's not good. I can't move there. You must have at least 2 clues in order to move there. Okay, so what can I do? Well, I evaded it, which means I could play... Now, here's the deal. No, if I make this disappear, I appear here, and this still comes with me. Okay. I think I'm just going to have to deal with it. Now, because it's evaded, it will not get to attack me this turn. That's a good thing. All right, so for my second action, I will draw a card. And I got fast play, either place a clue on your location or discover a clue. Remove mysteries. I don't want to play that. And I'm going to take a resource for my third and final clue. So I'm done. Now, because it's evaded, Rex can go 1, 2 for 2 moves, for 2 actions. He has 2 clues, which reveal this. I get to keep the clues. It says you just have to have 2 clues in order to move here. And then it says you must have at least 2 clues in order to move to the edge of the universe. You must have at least 2 clues in order to move to the edge of the universe. Investigators at Edge of Universe cannot draw cards during their upkeep phase. Oh, wow. Okay, but the good news is it has 4 clues on it. 1, 2, 3, 4. But since I moved here and I have 1 more action, this says if an investigator enters the edge of the universe, advance. So we flip this over. All right, it says you reach an impossibly dense pitch black void and realize that this place is where all of reality, all that is and all that ever will be, ends. In its center, you see a minuscule rift suspended just out of reach. When you peer through the tear, You were surprised to see the peak of Sentinel Hill. Somehow you've reached the other side of the rift. Now you must find a way to close it for good. All right, let me read Act 3. The unearthly stones on the ground are inscribed with some sort of seal. Approaching them causes a voice to enter your mind, speaking in an alien tongue. As an action, discard the top 3 cards of the encounter deck, choose a location. Blah. Okay. Objective. Only investigators at the edge of the universe may spend the requisite number of clues as a group to advance. This takes 6 clues. Oh, okay. 6 clues, of which I only have 4 here. That's not good. All right, so I may need to get this. Well, I can't get this one because if I get it, this disappears and kicks me back here, and then I can't get to the edge of the universe. So I've got to leave this in play. All right, so that's it for this episode. I'll be back next week with the next part of this story. I hope you'll join me then. This is Jim, the Tabletop Engineer. Thanks for joining me on this game of Arkham Horror, the Dunwich Legacy. I'll be back in a week. Everybody, take care.
Check out the new RPG and Wargame newsletter. Each week, the Tabletop Engineer shares news, products, Kickstarters, and much more related to the gaming hobby. It's free to subscribe, so check out the link in the video description below to sign up.